right, guys, so did some research and I was looking for a heater. I've got a Canam XMR. I really, the limiteds are nice, but in the summertime, we like to just have it open. So we're sitting on it, we take down the lake, we turn the music on, stuff like that. So I like an open cab. I really don't like a closed in cab. I may look at soft doors, if winter gets cold, but it doesn't really get that cold here. But I definitely wanted a heater, something to kind of warm your hands up, have a little bit of heat in the front. Even with the windshield down riding, it's not too bad down here. I mean, it's 35, 40 degrees, not so bad. But anyway, Inferno heaters, I looked at all the heater options available out on the market, and I really like my stuff to be clean. I like it to look like it's an OEM, not some aftermarket stuff that's hanging on. So all the research I've done put me to Inferno heaters. So UPS just dropped the box off literally 5 minutes ago. So we're gonna open this thing up and take a look at what's inside. What I have been waiting on, I did go ahead and tear some of it down just on videos I've seen on YouTube, and I'll show y'all what I took apart. Some of it I may not have had to, but for me, just getting the radiator line off, getting the coolant drain, getting all that stuff ready for the package to come in. So anyway, did a little bit of that. We'll show y'all that in a minute. First, we'll take a look at what's in here. Some of the things that I need is, I know I'm probably gonna need something to cut plastic, so I'm gonna get a little bit better Dremel with a thinner wall for those defrost vents up top. And then I also need to go get a hole saw. So I wanted to make sure I'm getting the right size hole saw, so just waiting on the instructions to come in. First thing on top, you see we've got the Inferno Cab heater book. Looks like it's got some pretty good instructions with pictures and photos here. Yep, shows the cut lines, where you need to cut, and all those good things. Shows what 4 panels you need to pull out. This looks like a very nice kit, and they're very descriptive. They've got good photos showing where you're going to tie your electrical in. And that's what the top looks like. You want to see that? Like I said, it's a very good OEM look. That's what I really liked about this kit. And it's very small for the size of it. And it's even got templates back here on the back for the defrost cutouts and for your holes. Now, what I have heard was watching YouTube, we'll verify that in a minute, is this is the outside diameter. So you're going to want these to actually be cut a little bit smaller than that. So there's that piece. Very nice quality finish. I mean, just out of the box, it's clean, looks good. Top piece. These are the defrost vents that go in at the top. I'm kind of wondering, looking on the internet, how do these work? Do they go in from the top? Do they come apart? Okay, that makes sense now. So basically they do snap apart in half, and they've got some little clips, but I don't think I need to do that necessarily. You cut out for the template, and then you just pull this in from the bottom, and then you've got the grills on the top. You just put the grills on and put the screws in. So it doesn't look like I'll have to separate those, but maybe for the reason that if you did, you could cut the hole and you could drop it in if you needed to. Something you can do. Just the duct work right here. It's just that retractable tubing. Got clamps and Y fittings. These are nice welded out Y fittings. They look really nice. This is the block off plate that goes on the bottom. Once you you have a shelf there, you're actually going to cut that out, and then there won't be a shelf there anymore. That's where the heater goes. It's right behind this, and so this is a block off piece for that. Got a nice wiring kit right here. Look, they've even given you a plug for the switch. All you've got to do is tie the hot and the ground in, and then it plugs into the unit, which is really nice. Makes it easy. This is one of the main reasons I chose it. Look how small this unit is. Very nice, very compact. Just hook your vents in, 2 heater hoses, and this actually mounts up under the dash. I think, if I remember right, it goes like this. Other pieces we have here, got some 90s, more clamps. And this is for the flex tubing, some wide pieces. And this is your hose to hook it up. So that's pretty much everything in the kit, guys. I'm gonna read through this. I'll let y'all know what size hole saw you're gonna need, because that's one of the questions I would have had before I got the kit. And let me show you what I've got tore apart so far. Okay, so on mine, I went ahead and just tore both those panel pieces out. I cleaned all this up, took all this out, just makes it easier for me. I've taken this bottom section out right here already. I pulled my fender flare off in this front cover just to see if there was access to get up in there where that defrost is. Didn't have much luck with that. This is the bottom part of the dash right here that has to be cut out. So you're gonna have to cut it somewhere in that area. And then those are the floor pieces. That's the battery cover for the back, and then that's the piece off the firewall. So not much to it. It probably took me 15 minutes to pull all that off. So it doesn't take very long. So I'm gonna measure this, and I'm gonna go ahead and probably go get me a valve for it, and I'll be back. Okay, so I've been working on this. I got the defrosters in. You can see, got that cut out. Got those screwed in up there up top. And then I still got to screw that down and put the pieces in. But that's all set up. As you can see, you can turn your key on. Get some nice airflow coming out of these two vents right here. Coming out of the defrost, good. And then down here at the bottom. And you can see I haven't put the cover on yet. I'm still going to add this bolt in here in this corner. And I've got to tie my heater lines in. But besides that, I've got all that installed done. Now what I did was, is I ran, and you can kind of do it however you want, and the instructions, you know, you want to follow those or whatever. But what I did was, is I actually ran these two to a dedicated port on the heater, and then I wired these two together, the two defrost, to another port, and then I came out of the top of the heater and went into a Y for the two floor ports. So anyway, I'm gonna get some of this buttoned up. Of course, this is the cover. They've got a really nice cover that goes right there. It'll cover that space up, and I really like it. You know, compared to, I did look at the Canam heater, it's a little bit more money. You know, the OEM look of this is pretty nice to me. The one thing I didn't like about that other heater with the Canam is it basically drops your floorboard to here. And if you look at this heater, I mean, you lose this cubby space and this cubby space, which is fine with me. I'd rather do that than lose all that floor space, because if you look, that other one comes up and it's pretty much straight right here, and it'll come out to about right here at this point. So it's just a really nice kit. Install's not too bad. Probably a few cuss words said. Putting in the vents up there in the top, the defrost vents, that's really the worst part. But overall, pretty easy. So now I'm gonna work on getting these lines installed. I'll try to get some pictures of that. Okay, so if you look down here, I made the cut down here where they said to cut it, but this nipple they send, I mean, it's got like a 2-inch deal on it, barb, and by the time you get to that, this is flush to this point. It does flare down some. Maybe I should have cut this down a little bit lower, and I would have had a little more room to work with it. But even then, coming up, this hose is gonna kink. It comes pretty close to kinking, but when it gets hot, it's really gonna kink. So, you know, it's gonna be a little more pliable. So what I did was I just got two of these 5/8 90. I came off with one here. It keeps that nice and smooth. They actually touch right there, so you're not gonna kink in that center. And then I did the same thing here, came up with another 90, and then ran it up here. It's a real clean look. I mean, I guess it's not clean, but for me, I don't have to worry about it kinking that return line coming back from that heater core. So anyway, that's the way I did that. I'm gonna get this plate on, and then I'll show you what I did back at the motor. Okay, so back here on the engine, what I did was, if you look, this is where it comes out of the head right here, and it goes back down to the thermostat housing down there. I put the feeder in here. You want this to be pointed down so the flow will go that way. I've got a valve right here, so in the wintertime I can turn that, I mean in the summertime I can turn that off. It's a 400-degree rated brass valve, so it's good for the heat. And then that line just runs up down in the channel right there. So got all that tied in. I've got the valve on. you know, this is kind of the final product here. There's a plate that goes over and covers that right here, which is really nice. I'm just gonna leave it off for now. Make sure everything operates. I don't have any leaks. You can see up there, those are the 90s, how it goes down. Coolant lines, covers back on here. That's basically it. It's a really clean install. Does take a while, so plan some time. All right, so here's the finished product. You know, and if you look at it, the one thing I really like about it too is even the switch carries the same backlighting, same kind of logo, same type of switch, everything that Canam uses, which is really nice. I've got the block plate on now, you can see that. So we took this thing out and we went and rode it. My daughter was driving, she was like, it's hot on the floorboard. We actually had to close the floor vents on the floor. So definitely puts out some good heat. Even when you're sitting and idling, it does really well, but when you start driving it, I mean, that thing just gets hot. You can't even hardly hold your hand in front of the vent. So if you're looking for a nice hot heater, you're looking for that OEM look, I definitely recommend this Inferno kit. Defrost vents are probably the hardest thing you're gonna do, putting those in. Well worth it though. I definitely would go with the premium kit and get those defrost vents, because like I said, when you're just rolling down the road, you can feel that heat coming up off that windshield and it feels really good. So I've got some half doors ordered. I think once we get the half doors on here and it captures that heat and the floor and stuff, it's gonna be really nice. But definitely appreciate you watching my video. Please hit that like and subscribe down the bottom right hand corner, and we'll catch you on the next one.